Do you want to see the game being played on us? Then wait until the end of this video. Here's something you need to know. The money you think you have in the bank isn't actually there. I'm not exaggerating, and this isn't a conspiracy theory. If all of us walked into the bank tomorrow and said, "Give me my money," the system would collapse in a matter of hours, because the money we think is there simply isn't. But don't worry, this isn't a mistake. The system was built this way from the very beginning. What we call fractional reserve banking today is actually the hidden engine behind global debt, inflation, and the illusion of wealth that most people never question. And once you understand it, you realize money is built on promises that can never truly be kept. So how did all of this begin? Back then, things were much simpler. In the Middle Ages, if you had wealth, you had gold or silver. But carrying bags of gold was tiring and dangerous. So, people started leaving their valuables with goldsmiths. The goldsmith would give them a receipt that said, "You can take your gold back whenever you want." Over time, everyone started treating these receipts as if they were gold. Light, easy, practical. And that's when the goldsmiths got clever. They noticed that no one came to pick up their gold at the same time. Most of the gold just sat there untouched. So they started writing extra receipts. If they had 1,000 coins, they issued 2,000 in receipts, and lent out the extra at interest when nobody noticed, because no one tried to withdraw everything at once. That's how the foundation of modern banking was built. Years passed, and governments realized they could use this system too. When the Bank of England was founded in 1694, its goal wasn't public prosperity. It was to keep the Crown's massive debts afloat. They lent the government money that didn't actually exist, and taxpayers paid the interest. And guess what? This system still runs exactly the same way today. In the US, Europe, most of the world, banking works like this. Think of depositing $100 in a bank. You think that $100 is sitting in a vault, but it's not. In the past, banks had to keep a small portion of it, like 10%. Now, since 2020 in the United States, the required reserve ratio is 0. Then can banks lend unlimited money? Not exactly. Today, what limits them isn't reserves, it's regulation. There's a framework called the Basel Rules. These rules determine how much risk banks can take. A bank gives out a loan first and then checks whether it has enough capital to support it. So when you take out a loan, the bank is literally creating new money, not printed by the central bank, created by the bank itself. And today, most of the money in the banking system isn't physical cash. It's numbers that exist because someone went into debt. This system creates 3 major consequences. 1, inflation. The more money there is, the less each unit is worth. Your purchasing power slowly dies. 2, endless debt. Since money is born as debt, the system always has more debt than money to repay it. 3, power concentrates in a few hands. Banks earn interest on money that never really existed. Governments spend without raising taxes. The rich get richer, ordinary people lose. When everything seems fine, the system looks strong. But when things go wrong, the illusion shatters. It happened in 1929. It happened again in 2008. And every time government stepped in, printing trillions to keep the system from collapsing. Because without this mechanism, the modern economy can't function. Today, most countries rely entirely on Basel rules. Some still keep high reserve requirements, but Basel sits above all of them. Here's the truth. The system cannot allow you to be debt-free. If everyone paid off their loans tomorrow, the economy would stop. Modern banking only works if you keep borrowing. I'm not saying all this to scare you, but to help you see clearly. Real wealth isn't the numbers on your screen. Real wealth is your land, your skills, your knowledge, your assets, the things that don't disappear over time. Understanding the system frees you. Ignoring it means playing the game by the house's rules, and the house always wins. If this gave you a new perspective, don't forget to follow. History explains everything, and I'll keep showing it to you in the simplest way possible.